going on, dudes and dudettes? So we recently talked about a couple days ago that Nathaniel Owusu-Boateng, that four-star linebacker, was going to be visiting USC on a visit, and it looks like everything went well. Obviously, he said he loves the coaching staff, so it doesn't seem like he's going to commit right away, but it does look like he left on good intention. So yes, hopefully he'll be able to get one of the better linebackers in one of the future classes, so that'll be nice. And talk quickly about beach volleyball because it kind of popped up recently because the women's team was playing for the national championship, but they did make a little bit of news right before that, a couple weeks leading into these games. Their main head coach, Dane Blanton, yes, he did win the AVCA Coach of the Year, which was nice before the tournament started. So yes, it's obvious that he's a pretty talented guy and has his team on a recent three-peat, so we'll see if they could get a four-peat. But it's that first game, I believe they played that 16 seed. I want to say it was Jacksonville State. I could be wrong, but they did beat them 3-0. So that was good. The next game was against LMU. I believe that's Royal Marymount, and they beat them 3-0 as well. The very next game, they were playing against Cal Poly. Got that victory 3-0 as well. And then I believe they were playing UCLA once again, as they did pretty recently for the last Pac-12 championship. They were playing them in the national championship, and it looked like it went pretty much the same way. They won that game 3-0 as well, and obviously became national championships after that, and obviously adding to their four-peat now, winning consecutive national championships. That's pretty cool. The women's beach volleyball side obviously showing how dominant they have been since the 2021 season, and hopefully they will be able to continue that moving forward. So congrats to those girls. PFF recently put out a list of certain number of teams that have certain number of wide receivers on NFL rosters right now, and it looks like USC is tied for first place with 9 total receivers right now, at least invited to camp or trying to get onto rosters. So yeah, it's not that surprising that they're up there with like the Alabamas and Ohio States, looking at the history of the draft with USC's wide receivers, but hopefully they will be able to keep a lot of those guys on the rosters as well after these camps start getting going coming up. Then House of Victory had a recent signing with the newer UCLA cornerback transfer and John Humphrey, so he recently signed. We did not get to see him play during the spring football game because he was nursing a small injury, just kept him out for towards the end of spring, but luckily it looks like he will be 100% officially healthy heading into the summer workouts and for the fall camp as well, so that was nice to see. And then an ex-ASU wide receiver, Elijah Badger, who I remember pretty well. He was pretty athletic always when it seemed against USC, but it looks like he's heard from like 20 plus schools while in the transfer portal, and USC was obviously one of those teams. I guess they're looking to add another receiver here in the near future, a little bit more of a veteran type of guy, because a lot of their main receivers right now are like sophomores and under, like freshmen too. So yeah, it's pretty crazy how young that side of the ball is for USC, but hopefully we'll be able to get a very talented player soon enough. And this recent high school player from a local school, Sarah High School, I believe that's around Orange County-ish area. His name is Travis Leonard. It looks like he's an interior offensive lineman, but yes, it looks like he did commit or sign with USC. Don't know if he's a preferred walk-on, but I guess when it's as of right now for the last class, I guess they would be preferred walk-on, so that's pretty cool. He had good grades, nice GPA average, and still a guy who could play center, left guard, and right guard. So a very versatile guy, just like another guy that could be starting, or at least is the backup as of right now. And Killian O'Connor, who was a walk-on too, it looks like he will be earning a scholarship pretty soon here on that offensive line. So yeah, pretty good get for the USC Trojans. And then there was a couple of things from the former center and Brett Nylon of USC, who supposedly is seen joining the Kansas City Chiefs practice squad or something. Not the practice squad, but he was invited to the mini camp is what it looks like. So he'll be joining Christian Roland Wallace, who signs a camp invite there. as well, the other ex-USC defensive back. I know Nealon was dealing with an injury last year, which I'm assuming that's why he did not get drafted or signed with anybody, but it looks like he's pretty much 100% healthy. I believe he came back during USC's pro day a couple months ago and was working out, doing some stuff there to try to get back into the NFL, and it looks like he has at least a shot, so good luck to him. And then I believe it was the NBA Combine is going to be happening pretty soon, and a lot of players were invited. I believe some of the main players from USC were both Isaiah Collier, the star freshman, and Bronny James as well were invited to the Combine. I don't believe they both have either accepted it or not, the invites, but I'm pretty sure at some point we'll find out about that news here soon, so I'll definitely update you when that does happen. And speaking of that NBA Combine, yes, for Duke players, only 2 were invited. Jared McCain, the star freshman for them, and Kyle Filipowski, the cool sophomore that was invited as well. So hopefully it will be at least lottery picks or first round picks, but they'll have to go through the process like everybody else. Then yes, sadly, Paulo Banchero did lose the game to ex-USC players Evan Mobley in Cleveland today in a Game 7 versus Orlando. But he did make pretty much history, Paulo did. I believe he's the youngest player, or at least the second player, who's 21 and under to score 20-plus points in a Game 7, which is pretty cool. I forget who is the first, most likely LeBron or something like that. But either way, yeah, big congrats to him. He just looked, defeated out there. He was doing so much, scored 30-plus points, I believe, and was really the only guy doing anything for the Orlando Magic, which sucked for him, but they do have some cap space, so hopefully they'll be able to add a star to their roster, so we'll see how that ends up going. And I believe there was a Tulane guard in Sion James, who apparently has 2 crystal balls from 247 projecting him to go and sign and commit and transfer to Duke. So yeah, he's one of the better guards out there. I believe he's a point guard, so that could help out the replacement of Jeremy Roach. Almost forgot his name already, but yes, he's a pretty good transfer, so hopefully when this does become official, I'm going to wait till it becomes official when Duke puts out a post on their social media, so it might be a little bit, but yes, hoping this does come true. And the LA Chargers did sign veteran wide receiver DJ Chark to a 1-year deal up to $5 million, so we'll see how good he is for them. It could most likely be cheaper if he doesn't end up getting a lot of stats or playing in enough games, but he's a veteran guy, and I think they even have like Marquez Valdez-Scantling returning for another visit to the Chargers, so we'll see if they end up signing that veteran wide receiver as well, because I believe they had Tyler Boyden recently, who was one of my more favorite wide receivers in free agency, but it looks like he went on to go and visit somewhere else, so that's usually not a good deal when it comes to free agency. So yes, we'll go with these veterans, I guess, but they did draft very well, so not really worrying about it too much. And speaking of one of those guys they drafted, Brendan Rice, it looks like for some reason he's the only one that got like a special post on their X and social media accounts of him in a new powder blue Chargers jersey. So I'm kind of wondering what that really means. But either way, probably just showing some love. So that was pretty cool to see. And then there was another player from Minnesota who got recently invited to the camp. His name is Chris Collins. I don't know if he's a tackle or a defensive line, but either way, looks like he's a very tall dude. So we'll see what he has. And then there's 2 pretty good prospects they're talking about into the 2025 draft, but they did say that Joe Alt, who the Chargers drafted, is still considered a better prospect than those 2. So I'm liking the Joe Alt pick more and more as the days go by after the NFL draft. Thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day.